So got the 2 strands that hold the top of the tassel. I'm going to thread one side. This is the wrong side of the project. And I'm just coming up through it, through the very corner. And I'm doubling that up just so we can secure it. Now I'm going to take this thread and I'm going to work it up the row going this way. And all that matters is you go one way with one thread and the other way with the other. So I'm just going to go through loops. This is a really dark yarn, so it'll be harder for you to see it, even if I don't do anything to disguise it. Right? So it's just weaving back and forth up this side, because what we want to do is not have the tassel, just all of the weight of the tassel on this bottom stitch. We want it to go up the row. There we go. If it were lighter colored yarn and if it was going to be more obvious on the front side, if I was worried about it showing, I'd be a little more careful. Let's get that through there. Because if you look, you can, I mean, I don't know if it's showing there, but you can see, yeah, you can see this yarn on the back side. But it's not going to show on the front, right? You can't see anything on the front, but you can see it on the back. So the other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to bring it back down a little bit, sort of making a U-turn. And I'm not just going straight down. I'm you know, doing a couple of stitches on every row, back and forth. And that's just to give it some traction if for some reason it gets pulled. That yarn. I love these needles because the eye is so big, you can just keep going until you're at the very end of the tail. So there's one.
Okay.
So now I've got the second thread, right? So the first thread went up this way. This thread's going to go this way. And the idea is that you're going to distribute the weight out so it doesn't just pull at the corner, right? So again, right now, if you look, you just see the original thread and it's gotten kind of loose. It's pulled on it. So what we're going to do with this, guys, we're going to snug it up a little bit more. And all I've done is run it through the same spot twice to just give it some anchor, right? So it'll pull a little bit, but it's not going to pull a lot. If we want to, in fact, if that bothers somebody, you can just come back through here and snug it up. And now there's no separation between the fabric and the tassel. So I'm just going to find loops. Again, because this is a dark colored yarn on a dark colored yarn, I don't have to be real fussy about where I'm putting the stitches. If it were light colored, I would certainly be really careful and mindful so that my work wasn't obvious. It's a little bit easier going this way because this is your cast on edge, right? And so I can just go in and out of the purl loops and the knit stitches. My aging eyes are not seeing all of the loops. So we're just finding loops where we need to. And we'll go up, this tail's nice and long, so we'll go up for about 3/4 of it. And then we'll come back on a little U-turn. And the U-turn just makes sure that if it gets tugged, if it gets pulled, it doesn't pull right out. It's a little more resistance. Both of these yarns, the yarn in the cowl and the yarn in the tassel, are nice and they've got some friction in them. They've got some texture to them, so it makes it a little bit easier to hold on. All right, so I'm getting almost to the point where I'm done. All right, so there's about that much yarn left. I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna do a little U-turn. I'm just gonna come back toward the beginning. And that's only so I can see, there we go. That's only so that we make sure that it doesn't pull out easily. Again, this nice long eye means I don't have to fight with the needle on a short tail. Let's just catch it. Okay. So then we pull on it. You don't want it too tight. Flip it over, weave in that end, and there you go. And it doesn't pull, it doesn't hang awkwardly. You can't see the stitches. And we're done.